All right, so I don't usually make videos on basically any other day but Saturday, but I wanted to come on here and make a quick video, just kind of something a little urgent, I feel like, and something that I think is probably better if I get a video out earlier rather than later. And it's going to be about XRP, and this is a something a cryptocurrency that I've held for a little while now. I made my first YouTube video was on XRP. So a lot of you guys probably haven't seen that video. So this is really the second ever video I want to make on it. The reason I don't really make that many videos on it is just because I don't check it that often. It's kind of just like, it's there. I have invested some money into it. It was a small part of my portfolio, and I kind of just let it ride. I'm never going to really sell it. I have very, very high hopes for XRP, but it isn't like another stock where I can really just go on about, why I think it'll go up or down. It's, again, there's usually no substance to why it goes up or down. So, when it goes up, you kind of always are hesitant and say, I'm going to go back down a little bit. But over the long run, I think this will be a great, great pick. But the thing about XRP now is that they're actually getting news, which hasn't really happened since I started investing in it. And I think that the idea of them getting news and the fact that they're getting news now and a big piece of legislation, which I'll go into, I think could really send it up. And you already see, I'm a little late to make this video even because I didn't even realize it was going up this much until I checked yesterday. But you can see, we were hovering around this kind of, we had this initial jump. This is kind of where I got in around the 70-cent mark when I saw it start to really rise. The reason I got in there, I obviously didn't have my channel back then, but the reason I made it there is just because you see these years since really 2022 hadn't moved. I mean, it didn't even break $1 for 3 years. So obviously what's going on now, you see this huge spike up is obviously nuts, but like you can imagine the investors that have had it since 2022, how they feel, 3 years of basically doing nothing. So holding it does pay off. Luckily I was able to get in when it just initially started to really take off. And then I made a video around the $3 level right here. And unfortunately it dropped right after. And we were kind of in this period where we're just kind of go up a little bit and then back down. And then, we had the tariffs issues. So went down a little extra. And then we were still sitting around this $2.30 level, $2 to $2.30 level. And then this July 8th just saw really break that structure. And, when this thing goes up, it really does go up. And we went from $2 to $3.60 now. And we are, continuing to climb. When you think it's over, maybe the 330 was over, it just keeps on going. You see these huge, huge candlesticks. Oh my God, 364 now. Like, you just can't even make this up. And I think a huge reason usually, with these initial jumps, they just went up just because it's a part of, I guess, the cycle. You kind of just have to go along with the ride. But this time it's something a little different. It's the legislation is being passed related to crypto and especially going to benefit smaller coins like XRP and Ethereum compared to Bitcoin. And also will help Bitcoin eventually. But in terms of the specifics of these pieces of legislation, so the one that was passed actually today through the House, meaning it's going to be sent to President Trump's desk, is the Genius Act, and that's gonna ease up regulations for crypto, which existed under the previous presidency. That will be signed officially on Friday, so tomorrow. So again, you see videos come out about that, you're gonna probably see more jumps. And then the next biggest thing is this another act which the House just passed, so it has to go to the Senate, is called the Clarity Act. And this is one that is even more important than the Genius Act. You can see here they have a quote, according to a Coinbase official, has been absolutely the most important thing we've been pushing for. So you can see just how important that would be. If that's going to be passed, it will be passed very soon. And since the Genius Act is passed, I can imagine that one is also going to be passed. So, this is just the start of it. In my opinion, I don't think it's just going to randomly drop back down to $2. I think we're going to see officially signed tomorrow, and then we're going to see the Clarity Act is going to be signed very soon, and you could see rises to $5 for XRP. I honestly have no idea where this thing's going to go, but this is just a pick that even if it does go down from here, because obviously I have no idea what's going to happen. It's one where it's kind of impossible to predict for the near term what's going to happen. But even if it does go down, I think this is an amazing pick for, the next 10 years if you have that time period. But this is a pick. Usually my picks, I'm very confident in my picks, especially over, the short term is harder to predict, but especially over the next couple of months or year, confident they're going to go up. This one, I can't say I'm 100% confident because I have no idea what's going to happen. There's not really usually any news. These pieces of legislation, I'm confident will continue to rise the price above anything we've ever seen with XRP, because we've just never seen legislation like this. But, this is a pick that you kind of got to look at yourself and just say, what's my risk tolerance? What can I put up? And what am I willing to lose, really? Because, when I was originally investing in XRP, it was kind of just like, I put up a couple $100 and it was just like, all right, if I lose this all, so what? But it's nice to be a part of the ride, because stocks are one thing, but crypto is a whole nother beast where you can see these returns almost doubling overnight on just nothing. So I think it's a great space to be in. Just have a little bit of your portfolio. I'm not saying everything, a little bit in crypto. And the reason I choose XRP over Bitcoin is just because I feel like it has so much more room to grow. Bitcoin's been consistently over the next 5 years growing a ton, and that's great if you got in, in 2020. But I think we're now at 120,000. I think there's still obviously a lot of room to run for Bitcoin. But you look at the last 5 years for XRP, it hasn't done anything, and then boom. So I think now is really XRP's time to shine. And once again, you have to be willing to lose the money. Not, obviously, I think if you invest it right now, I think you'll be completely fine with all the legislations coming out. But this is a pick that you just kind of got to see, do I need that money for the next couple of years? If not, I would 100% recommend putting in XRP. This will probably be one of the last videos I make on it, honestly, just because there's nothing else really to be said about XRP. Everything kind of stands. Obviously, if you got in at 220, if I was making this video at 220, I would have been a little more confident, I feel like, in telling you to buy, because we're just so high right now. You're not seeing stuff like this happen on the daily with XRP. But I'm honestly really shocked that this is happening right now. That's why I'm making such an urgent video. But if you have any money lying around, and if you know that you don't need it for the next couple of years, and you are willing to risk it, and you're not going to keep looking at it and worrying about it going down 50%, then I would 100% tell you to say buy XRP now. And I wouldn't really wait any longer for it to go down to $2.20 or $2 where we were, because who the heck knows what's going to happen when that Clarity Act is passed, or when it gets passed. Hopefully it does. This thing could be at $5, and then you're really, you waited too long, and then you're really regretting it. But once again, you have to be willing to lose at least 50%. You see this period here, we were at 330, and a couple months later, we're at 175. That's more than, that's around 50%. So again, look at your risk tolerance, and if you're willing to do it, I would 100% say invest in XRP now, especially as this legislation rolls in. So let me know what you think in the comments, and see you soon for another video.